So I feel like it's so good to be Karrueche right now. And I know that's the weirdest, most journalistic thing to say, but it really is. Like, how do you feel being an Emmy winner?
Nuts. Like, in a good way. Because I kind of forget sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Is it weird that, like, do other people do this? Do they, like, not think about their accomplishments all the time? You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes when I do interviews or when I see people and they bring it up, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I do. I am. I do have 4 Emmy. Like, that's crazy and such, like, a great way to like, tell my journey and my story. And it's a blessing.
I feel like I need like a flow chart to keep up with you. I just want to stylist, Emmy-winning actress, beauty entrepreneur, jewelry design. You are really doing all of the things.
Thank you. I'm just trying to like live life and exceed all opportunities in the most authentic way possible. Trying to just do what's near and dear to my heart and have fun. Like, that's what I'm learning most about life right now. It's like, have fun, try new things. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't, it's okay. So, I'm so blessed to sit in a place where I can have this platform where I am able to do all these things, you know?
But there was something I recognized when I was like doing all my research, and it's that you did not come from a Hollywood family. You didn't have formal acting training, like an acting background. And yet here you are sitting on all of these accomplishments. Do you feel like you still have more to prove, or have you already won?
I kind of feel like once I did Claws, that was kind of like my stamp of approval, or however you want to say. Like, that's when people really took me serious, which felt great, because before Claws I had done so many other things, low budget or indie, you know. And so even still to this day, people, you know, talk about Claws. But
why do you think that is?
I think because it was on such a big network. And so people were, and because before everything was kind of low budget or independent or not on such a big platform. And because it was on TNT, and TNT is amazing, and they have the budget to, one, it was just a great show, but also I think visually people saw, I mean, we had a freaking billboard on Sunset, like the big one that's across the street from Soho House. And seeing that, and also in Times Square, one time I was in New York and I went to go see our billboard in Times Square, and I was like, what is life? Like,
this is moment.
Crazy. Like, and just, you know, and just such a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I felt like, I think you've been underestimated throughout your career. Do you think that there have been misconceptions about you early on?
For sure. Because, you know, a lot of people saw me in the media for certain things. So when you become associated with that, not look, but just that title or that type of messaging, and not knowing me from before, then it's you're that's what I become. And so when I try to, you know, transition over, it's like, does she have what it takes? Is she just using her platform? Is she, you know, because I don't come from a Hollywood family, or, you know, pro training as far as being an actor. They're kind of like, you know, unsure, which is like, I get it, you know, but I did work hard to make my way up, and, you know, took lots of acting classes and media training classes, and, you know, really took the time to just focus and be like, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. And it's hard because this business, which I'm sure you know, is tough. Like, being told no all the time, being disappointed, being let down, or thinking you killed an audition and it's like, you don't get it. The craziest thing to me is like, there's 2 types of ways like auditions go. It's like, you think you killed it, you don't get it, you don't hear anything. But then when you think you did crappy or like terrible, that's when you book it. So it's like, it's such a hard thing to grasp of like, am I doing okay? Am I doing good, or am I not? You know?
Has life though, like audition wise, changed for you after some of the success you have, or are you still like going in and auditioning for every role?
Both. Some deals are offers where I don't have to audition, but I'm very much still auditioning and still doing self-tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you have that hustle in you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I can't. And this may be why I forget about my Emmys, because I can't sit here and say, oh, I have Emmys, so I'm not going to audition. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's I know the name of the game, and that's just kind of what it is. And I want to continue this career, and I'm very still passionate about it. And if I have to self-tape an audition, that's what I got to do.
yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
Do you feel like you've been strategic about your career, or are you just like a leap and look at, like almost like, are you a look before you leap person, or just a leap and then figure it out later?
Both. Because I like structure, and I want to be able to be prepared and to know what's coming. And like, usually I'll ask my team, like, what is she going to ask me? What are the questions? Da, 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 da. But I've like let that go, because I'm like, sometimes you just gotta live your life and be prepared, and just whatever happens, happens. You know, I gotta like kind of get out of my mind when it comes to that. You live and you learn, and I'm learning to just take a deep breath and just let go. Because again, I like so much structure, and I kind of sometimes get stuck into whatever I thought was whatever was supposed to be. So yeah.
Tell me more about that. Like, what do you mean when you say let go? Is that something you're actively working on because you're anxious? Because like, what's the opposite?
I think just trying not to box myself into, again, whatever it might be, an interview or a scene. Like, if you gave me your questions today, I would have prepared for that, and I would have been like reciting what I already thought about.
That makes sense.
Instead of being present. Do you know what I'm saying? And then my mind gets distracted. So I'm like, okay, she just asked me, okay, so her next question is going to be, so how was da-da-da? You know what I mean? So it's like, I am trying to let go of that. And so maybe it's more so just trying to be more present and not have too much control where I can't always have control, I guess.
That makes total sense.
Something like that.
Do you feel like something in your life sparked a shift, or is it just like a gradual, you've been in the business, you've been doing it?
Just from being in the business and learning to let go of control. Like, for example, when I'm on set and I, study for a scene a certain way, and I've had to be like, oh, shoot, I gotta like figure this out in like 30 seconds because we're about to roll, So I think just trial and tribulation, just learning, like, I could be stuck in my ways and just be like that, or I can take it for what it is and just grow and then be prepared for when it happens, because it's going to happen again at some point. So
are you still the friend that everybody texts in like an emergency for their outfit?
Yeah.
Because like, I know you're not actively styling, but like if we knew each other, you'd be my first text.
My title in our group is like the resident stylist. And like the girls will come over, like I'm just like, okay, what else? What other options do you have? Come over, like I might have this or the, like, yeah, I'm the resident stylist. So,
but see, even still very graceful about telling them the fit is horrible.
Yeah, because I won't be rude. Or I'm like, girl, just what other options? What else do you have? That's like the nice way. And they do it to me sometimes too.
No.
Absolutely.
But you have the eye.
Yeah, but sometimes you need a second opinion, or sometimes I don't know. So if I'm going to an event or if we're going somewhere,
right,
and I have a couple options to take photos, and I say, which one? And they'll all have their own opinion on what it is. And sometimes they'll tell me, what other options do you have? What else do you have? And I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board.
You know, it's so funny. If somebody I always think if somebody found my phone, they would never see me like sexting a guy. They would see me like half shirtless, like texting my best friend, like, do these pants look okay?
Yeah, no, same. And I'll send photos like my hair is like crazy and like it looking a mess, but it's what us girls do.
Totally. I feel like, because I know you're good friends with Christina Milian
Mhm.
and Sweetie,
Mm.
and I've met both of them, and they are so nice. Like, you feel like you are friends with nice people. Is it like the you can sit with us crew?
Yeah, I think that's just like the energy that we share as women. I know Christina a little more than Sweetie, but I think it's just like an aura, an energy. We just like get each other
Yeah.
and we have fun. We share the same experiences as far as like dealing with BS and drama and all that kind of stuff. So we're just like-minded and we're not mean girls. So.
You like hype each other up and stuff.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what, what friends and what girls are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like compliments are much better from girls than guys. It means more,
1,000%.
Yeah.
Girls they don't throw them out. Like
No.
if I say something to another girl, I mean it.
Exactly. And she knows you mean it too. It's
Mhm.
not like you're just saying like, oh, you look, like you actually mean that. So
I feel like Gen Z is really good at it.
yeah.
Like they really hype each other up. I was at a restaurant in Vegas. I was on a date.
Ooh.
And this girl was like, she was so young and cute. She must have been like 21.
Mhm.
And she comes over to the table and gives us our menus and looks at me and she goes, "You are so pretty." But she did it in front of him, which was so sweet. Like,
because he needs to know, like, you look good, and the people know.
When
The people
girls
can
go
see
out
it.
of their way, like they're the best.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Are we Gen Z? I don't know how old you are, but what age group is Gen Z?
They're young. We're millennial.
We're millennials.
I'm 34.
Okay, so they're the generation after.
Yes.
Okay.
They're right below us, and then I think it's Gen Alpha. I don't know about them.
Can't keep up. Cannot keep up.
How important were girlfriends in your life when you were really going through it?
Very important. The thing with me is I am very private and personal. So even when I'm going through something, sometimes they don't even know because I just like deal with it on my own.
Wow.
But like the major shifts in my life, I did have a lot of my girlfriends around to help me and support me. And they kind of understand me too and how I am. So it's more so like maybe I'm just like physically being there. And maybe like we're not talking about it or maybe like in that moment, but they know, when to show up for me and when I need support. And I feel like as we're growing, we're all learning each other and what we all need separately. So having real supportive girlfriends is so important. And I'm lucky that I have friends from, like my closest friends are from high school and middle school. So we've all grown together and have seen each other mature over the years and we've learned how each other is. So it's just nice and refreshing. And anytime I tell people like, some of my girlfriends are from high school or middle school. They're like, what? That's crazy. And I never really understood or realized that people didn't have those same type of lasting relationships or friendships.
I watched that Ayanla video and I was reading that afterwards you were like, I couldn't get out of my bed. Like I just wanted to shut out the world. What's the 911 call to the girlfriends? Like, are you like, just come lay with me in my bed? I need food. Like, what do you need in those moments?
The 911 call is probably silence, which they probably recognize. And because I also don't like to ask for help or anything like that, because I think I can do everything on my own, even though I can't. So again, it's just like pulling up and them just physically being there, whether it's laying in bed, laying on my couch, probably bringing me food and like smoothies and coconut waters and all the things that I'm probably not even worried about or focused on.
Maybe I'm projecting, but I feel like, because I'm 34 and not married, not in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the huge gifts of it is like I've really been able to cultivate these friendships. Like I have so much time to pour into my girlfriends and vice versa. Do you feel that?
Yeah. I think about how life would be so different if I was married and if I had kids. I wouldn't be able to like, oh, let's go to dinner tonight. Like, let's get some drinks and have food and calling, like it would just be so different. And because of that, because I have that freedom, I'm able to do more with them. Even if it's just like, come over my house and I'll cook and let's just hang out.
Yeah.
It's different when you have a man in the house or you have kids. It might not be, as freeing or as fun, or we're not, maybe we're not going to be able to have the same girl talk that we we would be able to have if a man was there,
They require a lot of attention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if we have like, when I do get married, my husband needs to have a man cave. So it's like, because I like space.
You need like your own glam room and they need a man cave.
Absolutely. Do your thing. I'll do my thing.
You want to get married?
I do.
Yeah.
I sound hesitant because like, for me, what's most important is like the foundation and the connection and the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like growing up, society is like this big thing about weddings and getting married, and like I really feel it's just like a piece of paper in a sense. You know what I mean? In some form, in some way. So it's like the little Disney girl in me wants to have a wedding because like we all grow up wanting this beautiful wedding, right? But what does all that mean if it's not the right person or you're not happy, So like my main focus isn't like I need to get married. If that was the case, I would have got married a long time ago. It's easy to find somebody,
It is. Especially for you.
Yeah.
You could have many rings.
But just, it's important for me to have the right person. So I think right now what's important is finding the right person first.
Do you ever feel time pressure?
Well, yeah, girl, this clock is ticking. So it's like, but what is age? What is time? And it's, again, that's like society's standards of a house with the green grass and the white picket fence and the dog and the 2 kids. And, it's like, so we think it's supposed to look a certain way. So I'm trying to tap out of that, because every time I tell people like, I want kids, I'm 36 and my biological clock is ticking, etc., they're like, you're still young. And women now, from what I've kind of read, they're having babies older. So it's still doable. Like, it's fine. Like, women are having kids in their 40s.
Yeah.
Do I want to be a 40-year-old first-time mom? I don't know, but I don't, again, I'm trying to let go of like what I think it should be.
Yeah.
And let go of that structure and just lean into being present. Maybe, God's like, you don't need a man, or a man is not for you. And maybe that's what it is. Because like, I'm very content with being like in my own space.
Yeah.
And, I want to live on an island when I get older and like have a garden and grow my own.
Where are we going? Jamaica?
Jamaica would be nice.
Jamaica,
like Costa Rica, Belize. A lot of people are talking about Portugal, but Portugal's like far. I kind of still want to be close enough to here, to the States. So I have to find somebody that aligns with that idea too, of wanting.
That's interesting, because I think so few people ask that question on dates. Like, nobody asks like, what does ideal retirement look like? Because we don't think, in 40 years, but that's a big deal.
Yeah, because what do you seek as happiness? Or what do you foresee to be happiness for you? And like, I see myself being on an island, picking my fruits and veggies and making ceramics and
Karrueche.
I know. And like the real me is so chill.
No idea.
And basic and like one with nature.
You're kind of a hippie.
A little bit, yeah. Like a modern day-ish hippie, I guess.
Do you light incense?
I light incense every morning, because in the Vietnamese culture, you light incense for those who have passed. So for my dad and my grandpa, I light incense in the morning. Thank you. I don't love incense in the house because it messes up my allergies. As you can hear, I'm already congested. And then I start sneezing like crazy, and it's just like too much.
You've had a lot of career pivots. And in LA, they call people slashers, where it's like actress / business owner / And a lot of people can't do it well because they can't focus and they try a million things and nothing works. You seem to try a lot of things and a lot of things work. And I don't mean to say that to like blow smoke up your ass. I'm genuinely curious how. Like, what's the method to the madness?
Well, some things have worked better than others. Some things didn't work quite well at all. But I think what's important, what I've learned to be important and to be successful is staying true and genuine and authentic to you. So when I did my jewelry collection, the first two collections, I based off my Vietnamese heritage and my Black LA culture, upbringing, I guess I would say. So the Vietnamese collection had like jade pieces because jade is very big in the Vietnamese community. And then the other collection, we did a lot of like LA 90s type pieces. And those were the collections that did the best because I portrayed that image and I told that story. And Estevan Oriol, he's like a freaking iconic LA photographer. He's the one that did, this original photo. He's the one that took that photo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
really
so he
cool.
blessed me and shot the collection, the LA collection. And that was a part of the plan too, because if I'm going to do an LA collection, I got to get somebody that, you know what I mean? Like this photo right here is so like crazy. Anybody knows that photo, you know?
Especially you being from LA, it really, like, it means something.
Exactly. So doing things like that where it comes from the heart and it's really you and it's not just me slapping my name on some pieces just because this brand, wanted to collab or whatever. And now here we have this random collection, even with Ruechi Beauty, which I just launched in December, that collection, the pieces, the tools that we started with all come from a personal story of mine. And they're all tools that I've created because they help different things that I've always struggled with.
Like your personal pain points?
Yeah. So like the cryo tool, which is like an ice tool, I grew up putting spoons in the freezer. And I would like put them under like the old classic way, put them under my eyes. Or, I would get like if I'm prepping for a set or a photo shoot or something, I would get an ice cube and rub it on my face to just kind of like wake my face up, tighten up my face, tighten up my pores, kind of sculpt it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or I do like ice face baths. So I was like, I want to, as I was thinking about, because beauty is something that I've like loved. And I've grown on this journey. My journey, it's grown so much. And so I was like, I need to do a cry. I'm always talking about like, or showing on Instagram like that I'm doing this icing. I'm like, I need to create something for that.
Yeah. I'm curious about your beauty journey. What do you mean by that?
I say that because I didn't know anything about beauty 15, 12 years ago. I didn't know how to do my makeup. Now I am so picky with makeup because I've had that experience, trial and tribulation, where somebody did my makeup and then they did a wing liner and it was too much. And at the time I didn't realize, but looking back at the photo
from the worst. You're like, why'd you make me look? You're supposed to be the professional expert.
Yeah. On set, do whatever you want because I'm that character. But if it's me, Karrueche, I'm like, I have my things I don't like. I don't like highlighter on my face because highlighter washes me out. In my opinion, it does. I like to be contoured and like more so defined. So I don't like highlighter here. I don't like a lot of shimmer on the eyes. I rarely want to do like a glittery, shimmery moment because I just don't like the way it looks. I like mattes. I like my makeup to kind of accentuate my eyes this way. I don't like when the shadow is up here because it just doesn't look right. I don't like a big lash. It closes my eyes because it's too heavy because I've had that experience before.
Yep.
So I am very picky with my glam.
But you have an aesthetic, and so I get why you're picky. I actually think that people, like a lot of times, in our age range credit Hailey Bieber with like the soft glam look. You were the original. You did the soft glam. I feel like you need to get more credit for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
No
that.
makeup.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think what works best for me, and it's what I like. I just like to accentuate my face and not do too much or go too heavy. Or
tell me more about your beauty journey. What do you mean by that?
So also outside of like makeup, I've learned so much about my skin because my skin is my moneymaker. And when you're on set all day, and you're wearing a full face of makeup, you got to take care of it, you know? So I've had to, lots of trial and tribulation of trying to figure out what works best for my skin. And I know my skin now. That's like, I always believe that if we listen to our bodies will always tell us what it needs. So my skin can get a little oily. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I need a primer. I need this. I like this type of setting powder. Any skincare product with vitamin C, don't love because it's too harsh. It breaks me out.
Did you deal with any acne? Was that part of?
No, I was blessed. I will. Half of like my skin is because I was blessed with great genes.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and dad. But I also do take care of my skin. Again, because my face is always on camera. And so I got to take care of it. And once I started to get into products, it was just a snowball effect of like, oh my gosh, serums, skin boosters, essence, moisturizers, eye creams, eye patches. I love an eye patch. That's what I want to do in my collection too at some point is do eye patches because I'm huge.
Please do those. I love eye patches.
Same. And I'm like, when I'm tired and it shows. And that's another reason why I use the ice cryo tool.
Yeah.
But I love eye patches. I love at-home facials, like at-home remedies, like making a yogurt and honey mask. And
there you go. You're a hippie.
Yeah, literally.
Have you had a moment building Ruechi that you felt like, whoa, this is harder than I expected?
Yeah, just the whole process. Because
the way you just looked at me,
it's like nobody sees anything until it's just done and it's presented to the world. But like it's been years that we've been working on this.
Wow.
Finding the name of a brand is the hardest part because that is the brand. And it's like, that can make or break, in my opinion, a brand. You know, it's like how much attraction and intrigue does it have? How long of a name? And we went through so many different names. Came up with Ruechi Beauty. Ru, obviously coming from my name. Chi, C-H-I, is my Vietnamese name. And also means energy.
It does.
Yeah. So again, bringing me into,
You've lived up to your name too. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
So I was looking at the Nano Mister in your Refresh kit.
Yes.
It kind of looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. But was there a moment where you were testing and you were like, is this going to work? Like, is there so much trial and error?
Yeah, we went through different models. Some didn't work as well, or like the part that you slide down wasn't as easy. Some of them, the mist didn't come out the right way. And that's why I love the one that we have because the way the mist is so powerful, but then also like really gets into your skin.
I feel like skincare feels like this exclusive club sometimes. Like there's actives and layering and slugging and words that sometimes I don't even know what they mean. Is there an underrated beauty hack, so to speak, that you use that like isn't all over TikTok?
Underrated beauty hack.
Is there something you do that like you think people should know about?
What do I do? Well, they should use Ruechi Beauty. No, I'm kidding. What do I do? I mean, I think, and this is probably all over TikTok, but I think that something that people should be doing is at-home remedies. I love a good product that is great for the skin. There's plenty of them, but people don't realize that there's so much that you can just do at home. An avocado mask, avocado and honey, like I said, yogurt and honey, oatmeal mask, certain coffee masks you can do, because not everybody can afford certain things, you know? And besides that, it's all natural. And so
I imagine you in the kitchen,
best,
like making all these.
Aloe vera is really great.
Yeah.
That you can use for your hair or your skin. Yeah, I think that's.
I saw that one of the pillars of the brand is self-care. And I know that's really important to you. Outside of like skincare or remedies, is there something that you do that really feels like self-care to you?
Every morning I have a delicious cup of coffee. That's my self-care. One of. But like I love coffee. I just love the taste of it. It's just so good. And I love it in the morning. And I love waking up, brushing my teeth, going downstairs and making a cup of coffee and just like having my first couple of sips. I don't know why that just like fulfills me in so many ways. And when I don't get my coffee, I'm like, I need some freaking coffee. But like,
do you think about it at night?
Yeah, like I'm gonna go to sleep, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have some coffee. And me and one of my other friends, we like talked about this sometime. Her name was Jen Lai and she was on Claws. She just texted me the other day and she was like, do you still love coffee as much as I do? And I said, yes. And she shares the same sentiments. She just loves a good cup of coffee in the morning.
You're part of a club of people who, I'm the same way. It's like, I feel like almost like an indulgence. Like I like love myself when I'm having coffee.
Yeah, it just feels
totally.
It feels good and then it wakes you up.
Yeah. You described your role on Claws as the role that made people take you seriously earlier. I think a lot of times our personal lives and professional lives like rise together. Like the more we grow personally, the more expansive our careers become. And I feel like you hit this new moment with Claws, and I'm kind of wondering what was happening personally that you had this blossoming.
During Claws?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize that was the moment in the very beginning that people were going to start taking me seriously until I did the first season and people were saying it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I booked it and was like, oh, this is on TNT. People are going to take me serious. It wasn't like that for me. It wasn't until afterwards.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, like, you do like, this is huge. Like, wow. And like, people would say like, no offense, but like after you did this, like, wow, you're really serious about this. And I was like, oh, I've been serious, but okay. But it's
no one sees all the hard work.
Yeah, and it's all perception, you know? Like while I was filming Claws the first season, like I don't want to say I wasn't struggling. I was just in the moment of being a part of such a huge production with a huge network. Having to work alongside Niecy Nash, Jen Lyon, Carrie Preston, Judy Reyes, Harold Paranos, like my TV boyfriend I grew up watching him. Like, so it was just so like, I couldn't believe it. But then also like I was in it to where like I was pushing myself, like get it together, like make sure you're really tapped in because everybody else is like seasoned veterans, A-list, like they're just on their game just because they're fucking amazing. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm right there with them because I'm right there with the girls. It's 5 of us, you know? And I didn't want to slack and be the one that's like, oh, she's like the one that doesn't really have it together, whatever it is, you know? I'm like, I had to really focus and really push myself. And
did you change your lifestyle at all? Were you like not going out, were you fully focused?
Then no. I'm gonna be completely honest. No. During filming, I was focused.
Yeah.
But outside stuff, like afterwards, I was still living my life.
That's so good.
I think now where I am is where I'm finding like pulling back from clubbing and just doing things that like I don't really find as fun, like really tapping into my auntie era of just, I told you I went out Sunday to the Gold Party during Oscars weekend, and it was a 5 a.m. night. And when you get older,
it hits different.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, how did I used to go out and for, to whatever time and do this the next day? Like, it's crazy. And I love my rest.
Yeah.
And so it's just different. It's more so like, let's maybe have dinner. I don't even drink as much as I used to. I'll have dinner with the girls. They'll come over and get on the couch, or I'll like cook or, order some food or whatever. But yeah, I'm just not doing the same, going out just because I'm like preserving my energy.
I read that you almost quit acting.
Yeah, that was before Claws.
So what was going on?
I wasn't booking much at all. And my agency at the time was like, what do you want to do? This is, are you so passionate about this?
That's a brutal conversation.
Oh gosh. I was like, help. And I listened to the, little voice in the back of my head, and I listened to my heart, and I was like, no, I still want to do this. Something is telling me, don't give up just yet. And I think that's when I got even more involved in my acting classes and everything, and got probably like a little more serious and focused. And then I booked Claws. Just
That's
crazy.
so wild.
Yeah.
You must have felt like a exhale.
Yeah. When I got the call that I booked that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't give up and let any outside opinions or whatever just kind of throw me off.
Were you practiced at that? Because if I can be really honest with you, I'm so struck by how you were able to do you amidst all the noise. Like you said at one point, like everyone thought you were known as somebody's ex.
Yeah.
But you fully stepped out onto your own. And I'm not sure that people that live outside of LA or Hollywood could fully understand how hard that is.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, people saw me in the media for one thing, and for somebody who wanted to do something with their lives, it's like I had to just focus on me and drown out all the noise.
Like, how did you do that?
I mean, it was a struggle. It wasn't like it was easy peasy. Especially with social media, I had to literally put my phone down because you can really become sucked into that, into the comments and what people are saying and this, that, and the other. And especially at a time where I didn't have anything going on for myself. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you did, but not in the same way.
Not in the same way, where now it's like, okay, I can work on this or focus on this. It was like, do I go back to Nordstrom? You know what I mean? Like, where does this go? And there were opportunities to do like reality TV and those type of things. And I was like, that's not the direction that I want for my career.
Wow.
Because if I want to do acting, then maybe they're not going to take me serious if I'm doing
You knew back then that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, shortly after the, relationship, whatever. Yeah, shortly after that. Yeah.
So you really had foresight. Like you had something in your mind that maybe other people didn't see, but you saw something.
Yeah. I had an opportunity that was presented to me to act. And so it was a very, very small role. I had one line. And I was like, I'll try. I'll take a shot at I've never acted before, but let's do it. And I did it. And I was like so nervous that day and so scared, but I did it. I was intrigued and it sparked an interest. And from there I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do this. But I knew that I had to catch up. I had to take the acting classes and all that. And that's what led me to here.
Was there a moment where you felt like you fully stepped out on your own and like left all that behind?
Yeah, probably later down the line, maybe around claws.
Really?
Yeah, because
That's kind of
people,
far down the line.
yeah, I mean, people, even still to this day, some people are like, oh, you're da-da-da-da's ex. I'm like, sure, like, whatever, cool. But to think that it was that so long ago, they still correlate the two is like, so I don't know if, I can't read people's minds. So I don't know if that's just when they see me, that's what they think of, or I don't know. But that took a long time to kind of separate because again, that's all people knew. The world was presented to me in that way. You know what I mean? So
I think that would feel so strange because I think about like somebody I dated 10 years ago and like that feels like a whole nother lifetime. I don't
Yeah.
even know that person.
yeah. I mean, for me, I had to just like take it for what it is and like, look, I guess if you date somebody on that type of stature, it's like, I guess that's what it comes with. You know what I mean? I didn't know, I didn't expect it during that time, you know, but yeah, it is what it is. And that's what people think. So it's like, I guess. But now it's like, I don't let it affect me because I've grown to a point where like, I don't really feed into people's comments or whatever they say as much as I used to. It's kind of just like, whatever. Okay, if that's what you want to think. You know, I'm not going to be like, I'm Karrueche and I don't, like, I'm not going to, like, what are we, you know, like, for what? You know, and it's like,
They'll know soon enough.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. And I have other things happening. So it's like, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. If you want to think of me as this person, then
Yeah.
well, fine. I don't care. I'm still going to be home on my couch.
Yeah.
Making my tea or my home remedies or my mask, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm still going to live my life and do what I do. So
You like throughout all the things in your career, you've always remained really graceful. And I remember like at the height of all the stuff with your ex, people always were like, yeah, but she's like above it all. Like you never talked a lot to the press. You never did the reality show. Like you could have cashed in on some things and you always just, did you have somebody guiding you or is that just like your own compass?
it was me just sticking true to me and what I felt. I was blessed to grow up with morals and standards. You know?
Your parents?
My parents, my God family, that raised me as well, my girlfriends that I grew up with. You know what I mean? So I think I just stayed true to the girl from LA, you know, and just kind of stuck with that and just went with my heart, I guess.
Do you feel proud of that person?
Absolutely. Because I could be a whole different person. But I do like that I can be graceful and can take the high road and that I am a good person. You know, I'm not really, I try to be as positive as I can. I'm not really like nasty or rude or mean to people. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I'm still growing and still learning how to be better as a friend and as a daughter and as all these different things, you know? Just trying to be my best self. And we all have our flaws, you know, but I've always maintained my integrity.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking as you were talking.
Yeah.
You have this moral compass and nothing really can sway, like no amount of fame or money can sway that. Like you're not just going to do a money grab. You're not going to.
Yeah, I missed out on a lot of big money grab opportunities, but it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know, where's the longevity, moral longevity in that, you know? So, yeah.
I read that you said you're a relationship girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
What does dating life look like for you now?
It's hard because like there's just so much out there, but then also isn't, you know, especially with social media. Yeah. Everybody knows everybody. the industry itself is like so big, it's so small. And I'm just trying to like live life and just have fun, try new things, not put pressure on, you know, I need to be in a relationship or I need to be with somebody. I felt like growing up in my earlier years, I was very like codependent. Like I felt like I needed to be in a relationship or be with somebody to feel fulfilled. And no, thank you.
Isn't it such a gift though?
Yes. And I'm so glad that I'm able to see that, because that's like, that's like, what's the word? That can really not tear you down. But if you really become that person, then you become codependent on somebody else's love and somebody else's energy and just somebody else to like make you happy.
Yeah.
And you know, as they say, you got to make yourself happy first before you can be happy or with anybody. And that is one thing that I am grateful for, is that I spend a lot of, during the ups and downs of my life, I spend a lot of time on my own and just figuring out what I like. That's why I know I want to live on an island, because I'm like, I've had a taste of that life, like traveling or whatever it is. And I'm like, no, that's what I want, you know? I like my coffee. I like working out. I like, you know, doing yoga. I like reading, you know, just cooking and all these things. Because I spent time alone figuring out, how can I invest in me? I've taken pottery classes that I loved. I need to go back. I stopped for a while, but it's like, it's fun and it's like something to do and like be creative and be expressive.
So cool.
Yeah.
I used to be codependent too. And I actually think it was a lot of pressure for the guy I was dating, because I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But so much of my happiness was coming from them. And it's like, that's a lot of pressure for your partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And for you too, as a person, it's like, that's so hard to kind of just live, I guess, when you're living for somebody else. And yeah.
Do you feel like you're looking for a different kind of love at this stage of your life?
Yeah. The things that used to attract me don't attract me as much, whether it's materialistic things or whatever it may be, or even like looks. Like I don't really care about looks anymore. I mean, I love a fine man, who doesn't, but like, but that's not always like my go-to. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy that you share, the connection. Can you see yourself with this person? Can you travel with this person? When it's quiet, you're at home, can you just be still and be in each other's presence without feeling like you have to say something or like have a conversation? You know what I mean? Like that you have to like feel that like quiet noise or that quiet, you know, like those are the moments where I'm like, I feel like that's when I will find my person, is just in laughing.
Yeah.
Having fun. That's like the best.
Yeah.
You know, just enjoying somebody and their time and their space. Space is another thing too. Can you share space with this person? Can you respect each other's space?
Are you the organized one or the messy one?
The organized. Yeah.
I could have guessed that.
Oh yeah. I'm very like, things need to be exactly where they
You go fix those.
Yeah.
Fix those for us. Have you ever dated somebody messy?
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. But I think when I dated that person, I wasn't as neat.
Okay.
That's like grown.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So now my place is very like, kind of like how this is, very like put together and yeah.
Precise.
Precise.
What do you think is the pettiest thing you've ever done to remind the world, like, nah, I'm way more than somebody's ex? Because you're so graceful, I need one thing.
Petty? What have I done that's petty? I don't know. I might have posted like some, you know, photo with a caption, but what did I don't know.
Oh, like a caption that means something?
Yeah, I might have done something like that. That wasn't too spot on, because you can't be too obvious, but it's like you know, I like to be mysterious. You gotta keep that mystique about me, you know?
totally.
So yeah, I can't. I try not to be too petty, especially on social media, because they will eat you alive.
Yeah.
And they'll take one thing and make it a whole other thing. So
You know what? When I was reading about Ruechi, the self-care part stuck out to me because I know after your public breakup, you started really talking about like toxic relationships and being an advocate for women in that space. Was there self-care that you did at that time that you feel like you could credit some of the healing to?
well, that's when I spent a lot of time with myself.
Okay.
And trying new things is when I got into yoga. I started reading a lot of self-help books. What else was I doing then?
Did you ever do therapy?
Oh, yes. Why did I talk about therapy? Yes. The funny thing is I tried to do therapy back then. I did one session, didn't love it. Because also, again, I'm the person that doesn't like to talk about my emotions. So I did it because, at the time somebody was like, you need therapy. And da-da-da-da. I was like, oh, okay, fine. So I went, didn't care for it. But then I tried it again later in life. Like I started therapy maybe early 30s, something like that. Because I felt like I was ready. And I loved it. I had one therapist that I started with, and I just switched my therapist to a new therapist the past 2 years. And she's a Black woman from LA, and I adore her. She's the best, and she keeps it real.
Yeah.
And, when people talk about therapy, it's like, you're crazy, or I'm not crazy, I don't need therapy, or da-da. And it's like, it doesn't have to do with being crazy. It's like, sometimes we just need a release to talk about something without any opinions that from somebody that might be connected to you or that knows you. It's like, it's different from talking to like your homegirl. It's kind of the same, but it's very different. And a therapist will help you figure out your patterns and what stemmed from childhood and from this situation that happened or from what you did or didn't get from your parents. Like all that trickles down into who we are today.
Yeah.
And some of that needs a little bit of work, and especially when it comes to careers, relationships, friends, family, like we have patterns that we don't even realize. And my therapist has helped me, realize my patterns too, especially with dating and like the type of men that I usually go for and the certain things that I do, and even patterns in other men when I'm dating a certain type of man. It's like, oh, this feels familiar. I don't like this. Now I'm in a place where I can be more vocal and I can say no or whatever the case is. I can identify it. And that also helps me to know if like, are you my person or not?
When you were talking about your parents or like your upbringing and thinking like you could do everything yourself, does that show up in dating for you?
Yeah. Because a lot of dating issues come from like mommy and daddy issues on both ends for men and women. The love that we did or didn't get, the relationship we had with our parents affects us. And it isn't necessarily just like a negative thing. It's just life, and you grow up thinking a certain way or being used to a certain behavior, and that behavior might not be the best or, so that's a part of self-care and wanting to be better and self-discovery and, just wanting to be the best version of myself, which thank you for reminding me I need to go see my therapist because it's been a while.
Authenticity's always been at the front and center for you. Has there been a moment where owning who you are fully gave you strength in a way you didn't expect?
I think when it comes to like deals or working with a company or a brand, again, being authentic and listening to my mind and my body. Do I like this? Is this just a money grab? Like I always listen to that, and I'm proud of that because I don't want some amount of money or some title or whatever to control me, because that's just very like temporary. And again, I'm in it for like the long haul and the longevity with whoever you know, whatever brand or whatever it is that I'm doing, you know, just doing things that I really connect with.
Are you comfortable negotiating now? Like the older I get, the more comfortable I am being like, this is the price, take it or leave it. But I still have that pit in my stomach.
Yeah, sometimes, but also I'm like, okay, here's my manager's number. They'll talk to you. Because I'm like, let's talk creative all day. But the business side, I'm like, it just, I don't know. It's not my strength. I let my people handle that. They're gonna
that you
do
know
what they do. And yeah, that's the thing too. I don't try to like overstep or do too much or like I'm gonna be a boss and tell them, you know, like if that's not my strength, talk to my team. They'll figure it out. We'll connect and we'll go from there.
Yeah. And you can be like the soft girl. The
Yeah, I'm just like over here, like
yes, all of that. Okay, rapid fire or the other game. Which one do you want to do first?
what's the other game?
Turn-ons and turn-offs.
Let's do turn-ons and turn-offs.
I like it.
Yeah,
Gutsy. Okay.
Have fun.
Football players, turn on or turn off?
I mean, sometimes that can be a turn on, you know.
Depends.
Yes.
Rappers or singers, turn on, turn off.
Are you saying which or
Like, are they a turn on or are they a turn off for you now at this stage in your life?
they're a turn off? It's too much. I can't deal with the lifestyle.
Getting your partner's name tattooed on you, turn on or turn off?
If it's the right person, turn on. I don't mind doing that.
Public displays of affection, turn on or turn off?
I love turn on. I am such a rare. Yeah.
Claws.
Yes.
Older men, turn on or turn off?
Turn on.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are we talking?
Trying new things. I'm open to whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making a grand gesture, turn on or turn off?
Turn on.
Do you think women can really have it all?
Yes.
What's a piece of advice that stuck with you throughout your life, especially during a time of transition or growth?
Where there is love, there is life. I have that tatted on me. That's not a piece of advice, but it's like a quote or whatever. I believe in like living through your heart and through love, whether it's at work, with your friends, in a relationship, walking down the hall, being filled with love, saying hello to somebody that you don't know. I think just like the essence of carrying that love and happiness is everything.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the only tattoo that I have.
Cute. What is that?
It says love. It's just
It says
coming
love.
up.
Oh,
You know the ones on
Very
your
cute.
fingers come up. Anyways, one thing every woman should try once.
one thing every woman should try once. I want to say the first thing that came to my mind is dating, but dating in a sense of like being open-minded and trying new things.
That's cool.
And I always say trying new things because you don't know until you try. And that's like a part of finding your person. It's just you have to go through that roller coaster to see what you are willing to are and aren't willing to deal with and who you'll find.
What's the wildest DM you've ever gotten from a fan or a celebrity?
A dick pic.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nasty. I know.
That is so like
So gross.
it's not what you want to
Yeah.
receive.
No, thank you.
There's like this really funny comedian that's like, that doesn't impress a woman. Like, send her a photo of your paycheck, not your dick.
For real. Like girls don't find that
They don't want
attractive or
that.
cute. Yeah, no.
If you have to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what's on your plate?
Rice and peas and stewed chicken with the with the side of plantain and a side of cabbage or callaloo. It's Jamaican. It's
I was
Jamaican.
gonna say, tell me you're not gonna move to Jamaica without telling me you're gonna move to Jamaica.
Literally, I could eat that every single day, and it has to be from Jamaica.
No jerk chicken?
I like jerk chicken, but jerk chicken sometimes, depending where you go, can be a little dry. But in Jamaica, the jerk chicken off the side of the road, the best. So I'll take jerk chicken or stewed chicken. Yeah.
A piece of advice that sounded corny when you first heard it, but's 100% true.
Somebody once told me. She told me, don't quit your day job when I was in a thing. And it wasn't corny, but maybe I just didn't like really take in what she meant. And I think what she meant is like, I don't think she meant like, go back to Nordstrom, still work at Nordstrom. But I think she meant like, always keep focused on you, always invest in you, always do things to fill your cup, always have something going on. Because I did kind of lose sight of that at one point in my life. Which is like living in a whole different world. But now I fully understand what she meant.
I need a book from you about that time. You don't have to do it now, but like in 5-10 years.
Yeah. You know, during that time, people were like, you should write a tell-all. Like, that is a corny thing. I would never do something like that.
No.
Like, that's so out of my character. But I would be open to writing a book about my growth and spirituality and
the lessons from it.
the lessons. Yeah. Nothing specific or anything like that. But I definitely would. Yeah.
Yeah. If Karrueche Tran 10 years ago could see you now, what would she be most surprised by?
26. I think how much of a homebody she is. Because, girl, I used to be outside, okay? I used to be outside living my life, having fun, going out every single day, drinking. Nothing too crazy, but just a different person.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like at home in my slip and in my robe and just super chilling.
I love that for you. A book that you've read that changed your life, something you think everybody should read.
Brene Brown has she has a ton of great books. What is the one that...
Daring Greatly?
Daring Greatly. Yes. I would definitely suggest probably any Brene Brown, but that one I have. And I have a couple of them too. Also, The Four Agreements.
Great one.
That's a great one too because I pick that, I have like a little library and I just kind of go and pick that book up every now and then and you can always read that whenever you just need to hear something really filling. And that keeps me grounded too.
Okay, grab a card from the Question Everything deck.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see.
I love that you're pulling it like a tarot card reader.
Question everything. What is the coolest, most unique, or important skill you've learned from your job? The coolest, most unique, or important skill.
That's a cool one for you.
Dang, what is from acting? I think kind of what I brought up earlier is being open and open-minded and not being one-sided and just being ready for whatever the director or showrunner or writer, whatever throws at you.
Yeah.
And to like let loose and just have fun.
What's something that you wish people could see about you that they don't see at first glance?
Maybe how normal I am. Like, did it shock you that I wanted to live on an island?
A little.
Okay. When I tell people that, they kind of like are shocked too. And like, oh, I never expected that. A lot of
people just have a foothold in this industry, which is so hard to be a part of. So to be like, yeah, I'm just out is shocking.
Yeah. But for me, it's like, I think for me, I'm the type of person like I'll work forever. I love working.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. And I don't mind going to my island if I have a job or something. I come, travel, and then go back. That's why I want to stay closer to the States as opposed to going to like Portugal where it's like you got to take 2 flights. It's too much, you know? So, yeah, I think, and a lot of people too, when they meet me, they're like, oh, I thought that you would be like kind of like stuck up or bougie. You're like a bitch. I'm like, really? Like, I guess because of the industry, maybe most people are. I don't know what their experience was. But I'm like, no, I'm just very chill and like kind of normal a little bit. So, yeah.
That's so great. You are super normal in the best way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try because like when you take everything away, it's like, who are we? What are we? You know? And like, I don't want to get too stuck in the industry or this world because it's a little smoke and mirrors, you know, sometimes. So I just try to be real.
You feel like it's been good to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's had its hard moments, but I'm blessed. I'm so grateful for who I am today, even through everything that I've gone through.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through that, you know? So yeah, I'm it's been good so far.
I thought of my last turn on, turn off question.
Oh, what is it? Wait, are we done with this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. A public engagement. Turn on or turn off?
I think turn on.
Really?
Because
I'm shocked.
public, okay, are we talking about like at a basketball game?
Yeah, or like,
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like engagement. Yeah. Or like he invited all your friends and family type of public engagement.
oh, that's a good distinction. Like a basketball game on a, like a,
I'm kind of into it because it's like, let the people know. But like, what happens if your answer is no?
oh, you better have talked about it before because that's horrible.
That's horrible.
You were so fun.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for
I really
this.
enjoyed this, and thank you.